Welcome to my podcast. Today I'm going to be talking about Resident Evil 7 and why I like it so much. I'll also mention some things I didn't like as much because, let's be honest here, everything's got flaws. Since I have no idea what I'm doing when it comes to this, I'm just going to talk unfiltered about this and see how it goes from there. Keep in mind, I will be spoiling the shit out of this game, maybe the DLC another time. If you care, save this to your watch list, play the game all the way through, and come back to hear my thoughts. With that out of the way, let's get started. If we're going to talk about a horror game, we have to talk about the horror elements and why they're damn near perfect. You can tell that Capcom has learned their lesson after whatever the fuck Resident Evil 6 was. For starters, when you first enter the house, all of the light coming from the outside is basically gone. The fact that the place is run down, it helps it, elevate that. Rundown places automatically are a red flag to us since they are just, unnerving to be around. And something could be lurking about in those areas. I think the game does that feeling justice. Almost everything is run down, at least in the guest house where we start. Not to mention the fights with Mia on the first floor and in the attic, since we don't know what's going on, because, fear of the unknown and all that. The main house also has this element of creepiness to it, giving off vibes the Spencer Mansion did. The old house is a lot more run down and rotten than any other place in the game. It's covered in bugs and spiders and the wood seems to be rotten away. The same can be said with the greenhouse, but it's not as rotten. There's also another aspect of the game I like a lot, and that's the VHS aesthetic. There are tapes scattered around that, when brought to a tape player, give us more insight about what's going on. Not only that, they're playable. The first one is 3 guys walking through the house for their show, Sewer Gators, which is basically like every urban exploring YouTube channel there is.
New plan. We do a walkthrough of the inside first, then we shoot the intro.
Just like we always do. Just try to say the show's name this time, okay?
No problem. Tonight on Sewer Gators. Another worthless fucking shithole. Happy?
Ecstatic.
The second one is Mia getting chased by Marguerite. The third and final one is Lucas taking one of the guys from the first tape hostage and throwing them into a Sonic escape room where he ends up dying. These sections, if it wasn't obvious enough, are inspired by the found footage genre, well, specifically Blair Witch and Wreck. The kids nowadays call it analog horror. Well, there are some uncanny faces here and there just for them. Now, this isn't technically done on purpose, but the way people look in the game, it's pretty uncanny. Basically, they use this software to scan so they took a bunch of pictures of something so they can scan it into the game, from what I remember, and the results just speak for themselves. I think that's how they did it with the people in the game. You can especially tell with Mia and compare it to the Resident Evil 8 version of Mia, and it's just very, very different. I think it benefits the game though. It makes it more, creepy. While there are jump scares in the game, they are used very little. Other than that, the horror comes from the environment and the antagonist around you. So our zombies for this game are the Molded, all black organic beasts with tree-like skin and sharp teeth with a flesh-colored inside. Unlike the regular zombies we've seen, these things don't look organic, but almost alien. Obviously they're not aliens since the series hasn't gotten that ridiculous yet, but something seems off about them. Their movement isn't like regular zombies we've seen. It's uncanny and unpredictable, just like everything else in this game. There's also the Blade Molded, which is the same thing, but it's got a big claw on its arm. The Quick Molded are molded, but they move on all 4s. Then there's the Fat Molded, which is just a big molded monster that shoots out acid, or something close to it. And that's it. Those are the enemies we'll be facing off against in the game. It's pretty lackluster, yeah, but the thing that makes me like these monsters is that they look like a child drew them and made them real. It ties back to the story of the game, and I think that's dope. It would also make sense that kids, like Evelyn, would stick to the same thing that they used to. There's a moment in the old house that is probably my favorite horror moment in the game, where it's pitch black and Molded stumble out from the darkness trying to get you. I think it's pretty sick, but you probably don't care about that. I know what you're really here for. These guys here are the main antagonists of the game, the Bakers, Jack, Marguerite, and Lucas. They're the reason people remember this game, especially Jack. The first we hear about them is from the old tape.
So, Hillbilly Joe and his family go missing.
Not hillbillies, the Bakers. Jack and Marguerite Baker. And they were quiet, not backward. A lot of bad rumors about their son, Lucas. Bad seed, apparently.
If only they knew. There's also the daughter, Zoe, but she's on our side, and I'll say more about her later. We're properly introduced to them in the iconic dinner scene, ripped straight out of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. There's even a grandparent there, too. With the way the game starts, you'd think that Jack would be the final member to face off against. Those weren't my words, those were someone else's, and I don't remember who. Instead, from the get-go, Jack is the first to mess with us. Each of the family members represent a specific genre of horror. Jack represents the slashers, something like Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, shit like that. Like a killer in a slasher movie, he never runs after you, and he always gets back up when you shoot him down. Not only that, but he kills a black cop before pursuing us. Just like how, in those slasher movies, the black guy dies, usually first. The fight with him in the garage is tense, yet fucking hilarious. If you get the chance to get in the car, you're able to run him over, or he'll just get in the car and start swerving around the garage trying to hit you. Him chasing you all around the house leads to the basement fight. It starts off like the garage fight, but it only escalates from there. Only instead of a car, he grabs a chainsaw, encouraging you to fight him with it. You fight each other with chainsaws until he drops, or rather explodes. It's fucking badass. Even when he explodes, his legs get up and walk a bit, referencing the fact that the killer is never dead and always comes back somehow. But whatever, let's see him come back from that. Whereas Jack stalked the main house, Marguerite haunts the old house. Her shtick is body horror, and also a bit of bug horror. There are bugs scattered all over the house. Big mosquitoes swarm the halls, and the cabinets are covered in spiders. And there's little nests of like, I don't, one of those like moths, but they fuck you up. That's all you need to know. Someone out there might be like, bugs? Really? And they haven't even been in the southern states. Mosquitoes and ticks are everywhere down there, and naturally they're obnoxious, just like they are in the game. Obnoxious. When she's active, she'll walk the halls with a lantern. If she spots you, Marguerite launches a wave of bugs or moths, I think, in your direction. She does the same thing in the whole fight. She stands up top, summoning moths with her lantern. Short and simple fight, not much meat on the bones. In the greenhouse, she fucking mutates into a twisted version of herself with long, thin arms and a hive growing out of her groin. That hive, from what I assume, is a weak point, luckily enough, because she's a fucking bullet sponge. It takes a little longer than the other bosses to kill her. They probably did this because she doesn't really do much in the main game. But with the time she's given, I think the moments with her are still memorable, especially in the greenhouse. She crawls around like a spider, for fuck's sake. It's pretty sick. When she dies, she turns to stone and crumbles, which is weird because Jack didn't do that. Third member of the family, and probably the most important one we face off against, is Lucas. He represents psychological horror, or mainly just Saw-related horror, I don't know. There are hints scattered around the game that suggest he was never the most normal kid around. Remember how fucked up Adrian was in the last video? Think that, but worse. Rather than just kill the victims the family have kidnapped, Lucas throws them into a puzzle room to torment them, with it usually ending in their death. Lucas watches over the barn, and he's not shy to show that he has a few tricks up his sleeve. When we enter, there are trip mines everywhere, and they are easy to miss on the first playthrough. He's also got boxes, the item boxes that we can find, and if we break them, they give us something. But he made some of them bombs, which I think is fun. He has us fight a bloated one for the first time, and we end up doing his little puzzle. Now, if you remember the house footage tape, you probably remember Clancy. Lucas puts Clancy through the game first, and everything that happens to him benefits us, since we now know what not to do when we end up there.
Motherfucker! You're supposed to die! That was supposed to be for you, goddammit!
It obviously pisses off Lucas and he runs away, never to be seen again for the rest of the game, until some DLC stuff. I just gotta say, the part after the escape room is probably my favorite out of the whole game. After the puzzle room, there's a walkway to the boathouse. Enemies will jump onto the walkway and ambush you. A nice little warm-up for what's to come. We finally meet up with Zoe and her wife. We finally get an antidote. Well, two of them anyway.
Hey, one of those is mine.
Get your ass back to the house. I will deal with you later.
Yeah, Jack is back. A lot has happened to him. If I were to assume what did happen, the mold couldn't properly bring him back from the chainsaw fight from earlier, so it just did this to him. Made him into this blob with limbs sticking out. He kind of looks like a fucked up seal. It's a great monster design. I really like all the faces from what I can assume are past victims that stick out from wherever. I also love how the fight with Jack escalates when fighting him, with the boathouse bursting into flames. It's really great. Even when we think he's down, he gets back up. Remember, the killer always gets back up for one last scare. So yeah, we end up curing Jack because he's too far gone. But uh-oh, there's only one cure left. And the game gives us a choice on who to cure. The logical answer would be to cure Mia, since she's the reason why we're here. There's a boat we take, and Zoe chooses to stay behind. We head upstream to safety and... oh yeah, that's right. Okay, yeah. This is probably the point where the cracks start to show for most people, and I don't blame them. As we pass by the boat, we get tipped over and we assume control of Mia. This part explains how the mold came down here. Mia was working for an umbrella competitor, The Connections. The Connections made Evelyn, this creepy little girl that we've been seeing and hearing about the entire game.
What? What, Evelyn? I'm just trying to show him. I'm just trying to show him not everybody wants to go back to how things were. So he's a stupid bitch. She doesn't understand that I don't want to go back to how things were before my father found y'all.
Mia's job was to watch over her as they moved her to like Mexico or something. She got out, chaos ensued, Baker family. This brings us back to the boat. Everyone that's talked about the game says the boat is the worst part of the game, or the slowest. I have to disagree. I think it's well paced and gives us some answers without a whole lot of info dumping, and there are some tense moments sprinkled throughout. There's also a pre-rendered cutscene. You don't get those in the games anymore. I also like the vision Ethan gets when he's trapped in his little mold prison. It makes you feel for Jack and his family.
So she infects you and then she takes control?
No. Not exactly, son. She forces her way into your mind, your soul. You can't fight back. You are connected to her, and you can't resist the urge to... Oh, you're a different person after that.
I bet those guys were nice as hell before Evelyn came around and fucked things over. After the boat section, things tend to speed up, like real fast, as if they weren't able to come up with a proper way to end this. The salt mine section drags on for too long, I feel, and it's made clear that Lucas was working with the Connections.
We did find several encrypted messages from the baker's son Lucas to an unknown third party. You can probably guess who that was. That's just great.
And we also find out that the grandma we've been seeing throughout the entire game is in fact Evelyn. She's also got a family obsession, with the molded actually being people that the Bakers have kidnapped while under her spell. When I say it drags on for too long, I meant the ascend afterwards. Waves of molded come to kill you and it just feels like never ending, especially when the fat molded come out before the ladder to the guest house. What? In the guest house, we get visions of our time spent here, and Evelyn tries to gaslight us into thinking that we're the bad guy here. After we inject her with a version of the serum, she fucking melts and quotes Planet of the Apes.
Damn you! Damn you all to hell!
Could've just went with, what a world, oh what a world, but you know, whatever. She then becomes a kaiju and knocks us out of the house. We shoot her and nothing happens. We're given a gun called the Albert I, and it kills her. The ending is nice and lighthearted though. We live, Mia lives, Redfield's there, and then he lost a lot of weight I guess. We're carried off into the chopper and into the sunset. But what about Zoe? Okay, if you chose Zoe, she turns to stone, you kill Mia on the boat after she frees you, and you leave on a chopper by yourself. So what the game is trying to say is that if you're a fan of Zoe, go fuck yourself. This is just gonna be me talking about some things I didn't mention earlier. The sound design in this game is great. You can hear how mushy the mold is, and it's pretty gnarly. The guns sound great too. I think it's kind of weird that when you run, they sound like they're made of wood. The shotgun would make sense with that, but the machine gun, I don't know. It's probably because the barrels are like hollow. Also, what was Evelyn's goal besides wanting a proper family? Infect everyone? Doesn't matter, the kid can't think for herself. Also, the music in this game is really good. I like it. This is all going on my soundtrack playlist I got on Spotify, especially Go Tell Aunt Rhody. Also, I just want to say, I looked up the original Go Tell Aunt Rhody, and the comments are just what you expect. You know, shit like welcome to the family, son, and all that shit. I think it's funny. Redfield is obviously Chris, but he should be jacked from the steroids he did, and from all the boulder punching. Ashcroft, like an outbreak, and the new one coming out. I still need to play Outbreak. That's pretty much all I can say for this. I know there's more that should be said, but my words can't do it justice. It's something you have to experience for yourself. It's just that good. It's not perfect, but I fucking love it. With that being said, if you like this, don't forget to like that bell and hit that sub button. Also, watch the other Resident Evil vid I made. I think it's pretty good. With that out of the way, take care and don't do anything stupid.